Brat Pack doc you're working on. How far into it are you? What are you
Yeah, it's pretty
thinking?
close to being done. Pretty close. I'm looking. We'll finish it up, and then hopefully, then we'll in the fall. Hopefully, it's out. Uh, so that was really interesting to go back and do, and I realized how much affection I had for my youth that I never had before, and for those guys, like seeing Rob or Emilio for the first time in 30 years, and sort of like having such affection for them. That was a great surprise.
Was there a lot of competition back then?
Sure. Yeah, I think there was. I think now we realize none of that matters. Doesn't who cares? But I think there was at the time. Sure. And when you're young, and all this stuff is coming at you, you're scared, and or I was anyway. And you're just scrambling and trying to do the next thing and land on your feet. So I think there was a lot of competition and jockeying going on. Sure.
Were you able to sit down with everyone you wanted to sit down with?
There were a couple of people that didn't want to chat, which was interesting because, the Brat Pack was such a traumatic thing for everybody. Now it's this iconically affectionate term for a moment in pop culture, and people wax about their youth. Oh, the Brat Pack, but at the time it was a pretty scathing term that was, because of one new magazine article, New York Magazine. It's interesting that in all our culture now with all the social media and everything, all the outlets, it was one magazine for 1 week, and within days, the whole country was using the term Brat Pack, and 35 years later, we're still using it. And that was really interesting to me. But it was originally we hated it. It was really a negative term, and in this film industry, it was used as it affected negatively our careers, I think, very much because it made it seem like they just want to party and they're not interested in really being serious about this. So for it to go from the journey of that to being this iconically warm and fuzzy thing all these years later is kind of amazing, I think. But yeah, we hated it at the beginning for sure.
Who didn't want to sit down and talk, if you don't mind?
Oh, well, why bother? See the movie. I still think.
Ally Sheedy, I'm going to go with.
No, Ally She's lovely and had wonderful insights. What's interesting is that everybody kind of had the same experience of it. How everybody's processed it slightly differently, but people all have the same experience. If like it felt like somebody walked up beside you and took a 2x4 and hit you up the side of the head. That's what being labeled the Brat Pack was like.